So in this video, we're going to talk about how you can calculate your own risk appetite and how should you base your investing decisions on. So what happens is a lot of YouTubers, influencers, and any financial intermediary would give you a questionnaire, that to see how you would react, basically, to understand your risk appetite. But to be very honest, I personally believe that risk appetite is not really a question unless you're investing a really big lump sum amount. Then risk appetite matters. But if you're doing normal SIP, recurrent deposit, or paying as simple as LIC premiums, then I don't think risk management appears as much, is important as much. It's simply because, you see, let's take an example, right? So let's say you're currently 35 years old and just now you had a kid and you have watched all the and you're very financially aware and you have watched many YouTube videos based on how to you know calculate amounts and how to do your SIPs, and you have also come across the concept of risk management and risk appetite. So you do all the calculations and you find out that currently if an MBA costs rupees 30 lakh, then 20 years later when your kid is supposed to do an MBA from a top tier IIM college, adding 10% inflation, the amount would come up to be 2.1 CR. Yeah, it's very difficult to believe, but I have only assumed, believe it or not, 10% inflation. Whereas if you do real number crunching, then the inflation numbers come out to be around 12 to 13%, especially in the education sector. It's very difficult to believe, but just to mellow it down, I took the inflation numbers to be 10% and the amount comes out to be 2 crores. So what now? How do you achieve this goal amount of 2 crores? So there are different aspects to it, that how much should you invest. Of course, you can put it in an SIP calculator and just find it out that how much should you invest. But is it really worthwhile? I mean, let's understand it in a different way. Say you have 85,000 rupees, you know, to invest monthly in an SIP or something like that. Then will I suggest you that you should invest in a mutual fund? Not really, because if you are putting in 85,000 rupees per month, then you can just buy an LIC policy and be guaranteed or near guaranteed for sure that you will get 2 crores by just taking a sum insured of 2 crores in an endowment policy. Yeah, a lot of people will say don't buy endowments, it's just 5% returns or whatever. But the point of you investing is getting 2 crores after 20 years. So if you want to be as least risky, and if you have 85,000 rupees available to you, then you should rather invest in an LIC policy, because all you need is 2 crores, right? Why are you thinking about that if I get 3 crores, 4 crores? No, you need 2 crores after 20 years and you have 85,000 rupees to invest every month. Then invest in an LIC policy, as simple as that. So that's the least risky bet. And let's say that the client tells me that I have a big risk appetite, I will invest in small caps. But does he need to? Right? There's a difference between things that you can do and the things that you want to do. Right? It needs to be understood. And see, my job is to give the right advice. That's it. So for you to invest for your kid to get 2 crores after 20 years, just invest 85,000 rupees in LIC policy and be done with it. As simple as that. But let's say you don't have 85,000 rupees. Now let's say you want to take a little bit of risk and you can invest around rupees 50,000 per month to get 2 crores after 20 years. Then another investment that I can suggest you is again LIC. By just taking a sum insured of 1.2 crores. Why am I saying this is a risky bet? Because if you go to an LIC agent right now, okay, and you ask him that, oh, I need around 2 crores after 20 years, so how much should I invest? And my age is 35. So he will say that you should take a sum insured of 1.2 crores, and by adding the bonus, there are a lot of bonuses, that some special bonus, final addition bonus, FAB, then yearly bonus or something like those stuff. And finally, after the end of 20 years, it will go out to be 2 crores. But what they don't say is this bonus is not guaranteed. The bonus rates that they calculate now, just like in mutual funds, we assume to it to be 12%. Similarly, in LIC, the bonus rates which they calculate now, they aren't guaranteed. It will come down. So, in order to escape that, and because you can't invest 85,000 rupees per month, then all you need to do is just invest 50,000 rupees per month, take a little bit of risk, and you will get around 2 crores after 20 years. Now, let's calculate all the juicy details, right? By investing in mutual funds, which is all of you, which you want to do. So, if you're investing in mutual funds and if you are willing to get 2 crores after 20 years, then as everyone says, by assuming 12% returns, then all you need to invest is around 21,000 rupees per month for the next 20 years, and assuming 12% return, you will reach the final amount of, you know, 2 crores. But now you can say, oh, Rudzo, but I don't have 20k to invest, then how much should I do or where should I invest? Now we are going into the mid caps and the small caps, in which the influencers say that you should be getting 15% returns and 18% returns. So even if you calculate that, it comes down to around 10k or maybe 15k, and for the highest returns, 18-19%, it will come out to be around 9,000 rupees per month. And it sounds amazing, right? If you are investing 9,000 rupees and your kid's future is settled and you will get 2 crores. But how true is it? And coming back to the point, then how am I assuming risk appetite, right? Let's say someone has only 9k to invest, okay? And they're saying, I am so scared of equity market and I can't invest in mutual funds. There is so much volatility, my money will go away. Then will they reach the amount of 2 crores if I don't make them invest in small caps or mid caps? This is a very important question to understand. His risk appetite is very low and he can't invest more than 9,000 rupees, and he's wanting to take, pay for his child's MBA by just investing 9,000 rupees per month. And he also doesn't want to take any risk. So will he reach his goal realistically? No. And to all my clients, I'm very realistic about when I'm calculating figures for them. Because in a lot of time it happens that, say, I tell them that assuming this much returns, you have to invest 20,000 rupees, and they don't have 20,000 rupees right now to invest. They can only invest 10,000 rupees or maybe 5,000 rupees rather. I tell them that, okay, it's difficult to reach there. Maybe if you get around 25% returns yearly, which is not sustainable after all, but you will still reach the goal. But the biggest thing that I motivate them to do is invest the 5,000 rupees in an SIP in the equity mutual funds, take a little bit of risk, and try to focus on increasing your active income and invest even more in SIPs. Because in order to reach the goals, you need to invest more and you need to invest in equity. So to me, risk appetite, calculation of risk appetite and all of that, it doesn't really matter. Of course, my investor will panic when there is market crash and they have never invested in equity before. But it is my job as their advisor to keep them sane in the difficult periods, right? Because if I'm not keeping them sane and I'm not keeping them away from pulling out their money when they're scared of a market downturn, then why am I an advisor and why am I getting paid, right? So risk appetite, it really doesn't matter. You can you can say that, oh, I am so much risk, I can take as much amount of risk. Then it's simple, then go to a casino. Uh, and and if you say that, oh, I can't take any risk, then you have to invest more. I mean, if you can invest 85,000 rupees per month in order to put your child through an MBA, then of course, be my guest. Invest in LIC. I don't sell LIC policies. So don't ask me, but find an agent and he'll be happy to guide you. But that's the thing. So risk capital really doesn't matter. It all depends on the income. If someone has less income and they want to reach or achieve big goals, then they have to take bigger risks. And in order to take calculated bigger risks, it's always better to invest in mutual funds and not stocks. Of course, I'll make a video in future if you should invest in stocks or mutual funds, and it is a separate debate altogether. But yeah, If you're planning for something which is needed to be met after a certain period of time, like when your son or daughter is 20, 21, 22, at that time only they will do an MBA, right? When your son or daughter turns 18, that time only they will do a graduation. You will, of course, retire at 60. You can't, you know, postpone it till 65. If you're 60 and if you're not laid off before that, then you will retire at 60. You can't say, boss, my retirement plan has not been met and I want to retire after 65. You can't do that. So whenever things like that happen, it's better to plan something which is quite certain, and mutual funds is a great vehicle for that. And if you want me to do your financial planning and guide you through all of it, then there's a link in the description. Feel free to book a call and we can talk more about it. So yeah, ultimately what matters is the right planning at the right time. It's okay if you're investing less. A lot of my clients say, you are saying I should invest 30,000 rupees, but I can only invest 15,000. I say, okay, sir, it doesn't matter. The thing that it has hit your head that, okay, I am investing very less, I should invest more. That is what triggers them. And that is what I want. Because if they don't, if it is not in their head that I have to invest more, I need to invest more, that is a necessity, they will never invest more. Let's understand in different ways. Let's say you have diabetes, but you've never done a blood test. So you will never know that you should be controlling your sugar levels, right? Once you see by doing a blood test that your sugar levels are very high, it hits your head that, okay, I need to work out. I need to, maintain my sugar levels. It's just like that. Until unless someone says, you can start very small. Like, you don't need to take too many meds or you don't have to do gym and everything. Just start walking. As simple as that. Yeah, of course, I can say to lower it as fast as possible, you should, start gymming and, cut down on carbs. But it's not possible for everyone, right? It's the starting part that you should start by at the least walking. Similarly, if you can't invest 30K right now, invest 15K, invest 12K. But at least it's in your mind that I should be investing more, I should be earning more money, and more money should go towards my investments because my goals are big. And if you don't want to invest more money, then it's always better to lower the goals, and there is nothing wrong in it. Like, let's say you want to buy a Rolls Royce, but you come down to a Ferrari. It's fine. You don't lose. Let's say your son or daughter needs 2 crores after, 20 years, but you could only reach by your investments to 1 crore or 1.5 crores. It's fine. Your kid can take a loan of 50 lakh rupees after that, if required. So, yeah, planning is necessary. Execution comes later, and execution is also important. But first, it's the plan, and then comes execution, and also the right execution. So, see you in the next video.